Today we're going to talk about our 5 favorite campgrounds. Now, we've been traveling for a year and a half, full-time in our RV, and we've been through 12 states. We're not the type of people that just go, 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 go. So I know that we have a lot more exploring to do.
Yeah, it was hard to narrow it down to 5, but
Sure was.
I will say that these are really spectacular, the ones that we've selected.
This is what I have to do to get my wife hyped up for filming.
I will say that one of the things that makes an RV park really good to me is if there is a laundry facility, because we do not have laundry, a washer and dryer in our RV. We have to hook up for it, but we just don't have one.
Yeah, and the things that we look for when we go camping, first of all, we try to avoid, we haven't been able to completely, but we try to avoid the sardine camping method. There are a lot of campgrounds that are just taking total advantage of the fact that so many people are traveling in their RVs that they pack you in. You get like 5, maybe 8, if you're lucky, 10 feet between each RV. You're crammed into a spot. You walk out. It's not good for the dogs. It's not good for us. It's not good for the neighbors. You want to be able to spread out a little bit and say, hey, we're camping. You don't want to come out the door and walk right into your neighbor. It's ridiculous, but that does happen often. So we try to avoid those places, but in that process we have 5 gems that we want to share with you. First up on our list is Buck Creek RV Park in Marion, North Carolina. The area, it sits just below the Blue Ridge Mountains. It is down in a valley. There are waterfalls and hiking trails just in every direction. The entire area there in North Carolina is just spectacular. We had so much fun. And the campground itself, now granted, they do line you up. It's like you're lined up all along this stream, or it's not a river. It's not a brook.
Stream.
It's a stream, and it rushes pretty fast, and there's some nice deep pools. We took the dogs swimming, but all the RVs are lined up, and some of them have like 10, maybe 12 feet in between. We were lucky enough, we had like 20, maybe 25 feet in between. We were in a great spot. Regardless of which spot you get, the fact that there's no one behind you and no one in front of you, there's a huge open field in front of you, and then behind you is this stream that's running, and the colors, especially in summertime, there's no bugs, which was shocking to me. At summer, it was like, what, 80, maybe 85 degrees during the summer. No bugs. I mean, what a fantastic campground. The camp host was great, right?
The camp host, well, he was actually the owner.
Yeah.
Remember? He was the owner, and he ran the store. He helped us with whatever we needed. That was just a spectacular place. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the management is great. The people that work there are great, and the scenery is unbeatable. So it really is a must. If you're traveling through Marion, North Carolina, I would say Buck Creek RV Park is a must stay. Okay, number 4 on our list is Woodsy Hollow Campground. Now, Woodsy Hollow is located in Goodrich, Texas, which is just south of Livingston, Texas. And next to Livingston is a fantastic, huge lake called Lake Livingston. I think it's the 2nd largest lake in Texas.
Yes.
So let's talk about the campground. First of all, we hardly ever saw a neighbor because we are so far spread out. I mean, again, our particular spot had a huge open field in front of it. Behind us was this huge wall of trees, and there was another spot behind that, maybe like 50, 60 feet behind the trees, but no one was there. I mean, they would come and go, but most of the time we had the whole place to ourselves. Yes. And I mean, there are people obviously dispersed throughout the park, and some great people by the way. We met some fantastic friends, and some people are full-timers there, but all in all, it made me feel like we were in a John Candy movie. What is that? The Great Outdoors. They had this great game room with air hockey and old games, like actual board games that you could sit down with your family. Very rustic. I mean, it was just a really beautiful park, beautiful scenery, and of course, being next to a lake is fantastic. Not only that, the actual RV park sits on the back of another lake, which you could have access to with canoes and kayaks. Also, you can get a john boat in there. They had a little boat launch if you wanted to go out fishing, if you brought your own little john boat. So that was actually a neat feature. I mean, heck, the lake was just a few yards from our campsite.
Yeah, it
really
was really nice. They have little hiking trails back there. There's little piers. There's a pool.
The piers were neat.
They have a little jungle gym for the kids to play in. It's just a nice little campground, and it's very much family oriented. That's what I really like.
Number 3 on our list is Jordan Lake Recreational Area, which is in Apex, North Carolina, just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. My first impression of the place, it is an old park. It is, I guess, it's got to be 50, 60 years old. And we were on a 30 amp hookup, and it was old. Everything there was old. Luckily, from the beginning of our journey, I did install soft start RVs on both AC units. So even on a 30 amp hookup, we could run both ACs. And as long as the temperature doesn't get above 85 degrees outside, both ACs will run. If it gets up higher than that, then of course they pull more amps, and on a 30 amp you're in trouble because we're running our refrigerator and our TVs and everything else in there, plus both AC units. Now the park does have, it had like 500 spots, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of spots there.
Crazy. They had like 5 or 6 different loops. One of the loops was like one of the first come first serve types of loops. Another loop did have, I think, 50 amp hookups, but I don't know if they had full hookups. A lot of state parks do not have full hookups. So we were in a loop where there was 30 amps, but the spaces we had, I don't know how many, what did it seemed like a football field between us and the space next to us, just the way they were cut in. A huge open space. I mean, we had these stairs that went up to this platform with a fire pit and a picnic table. Plus, between each spot, there's this massive amount of space. So I just loved that park because it felt so private. And it was beautiful. It was on a lake, Jordan Lake.
Right.
The trees, and I mean, it felt really like you were camping.
What I really, really liked about it is directly across is, as he was saying, the lake. You can see the lake, and we didn't get one of those spots that butted up to the lake, but definitely there was a lake back there.
We will next time.
Yeah, we will next time, but yeah, anything with water, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had beaches, plenty of, you could rent jet skis and boats and whatever. I mean, it's a big, big lake and a lot of fun. The whole area is a lot of fun. Just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina, it's a very diverse town with all kinds of exotic cuisine. We were eating Thai restaurants and Indian restaurants and Mongolian. And not only that, they actually have this cool supermarket called H Mart, and it's as big as a massive supermarket, but it's all Asian, like every kind of product from Asia, from candies and cookies. They had like fresh seafood, where you pull the lobster or the fish out of the water, and I mean, it was true Asian style. I thought that was a really neat experience for us. But all in all, the area is a lot of fun. We were visiting my niece and just had a blast. I'm going to put a link above about the video we made about our journey to that area. Now, the one downside, I suppose, for my wife, she wasn't able to fulfill her domestic duties because I don't think they had a laundry facility there.
No laundry.
Our second favorite campground is in Colorado. In fact, it's just outside of Alamosa, maybe by 15 miles outside of Alamosa, Colorado, and it sits in a huge valley. But first, let's talk about the campground. The spaces are huge. The pull-throughs on this campground are 100 feet. And then you get a good 30 feet between you and your neighbor. There's a fire ring. There's no swimming pool because I imagine it gets super cold in the wintertime. But still, what an amazing campground. I like the fact that you get plenty of space to spread out. It's kind of like high desert prairie land, and they have certain areas of the campground that still have that foliage. It kind of adds to the flavor of the area you're in, and I think that always makes for a nice campground. Tell me about the laundry facilities.
So we actually got right across from the laundry facility, which is good because we stayed for quite a while, like over a month, and I typically do the laundry at least once a week, so that was great. And they have they have 4 like bathroom stalls in there with the showers, but they're huge, and you can actually control the temperature of the bathroom that you're in, because I went in there and washed all my hair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think the thing that makes the campground, it's called Base Camp Family Campground. The thing that makes Base Camp Family Campground in Colorado amazing is the actual location. The views are astounding. In fact, I've never seen anything like it in my life. I would say the mountain ranges are probably 100 miles at least, in some cases wider, depending on which direction you're looking, panoramically. And at sunset every single night is a show. In fact, we call it showtime.
Showtime.
And you would see ecosystems like the mountain ranges. Every mountain range panoramically has its own ecosystem. And you know, the sun's setting off into the west, but it shines across the whole valley. So you actually see the reflection of the sun on the clouds and the mountain ranges all the way across the valley. So as you're looking at sunset, panoramically, you're just looking around and just seeing a show in every direction. It's like living in a 3D video game or something, like an open world video game. It was incredible. We're definitely going back to that area of Colorado.
Right, yes. And no matter how much you try to capture on film what it looks like, it's never going to do it justice. It's so pretty. It's the prettiest thing I've ever seen.
It really is spectacular. Number one on our favorite campgrounds is Lake Sumner State Park, which is in New Mexico. Now the area, it is a high desert environment, and like most state parks, you get great space in between each campground. My wife fell in love with the little picnic table because they had built a shelter over each one.
It looks like that clay, that pottery, that southwestern pottery look. It's so cool looking.
It really is. And so you get plenty of space. It's only a 30 amp hookup, and the temperatures during the day were like 100 degrees when we were going through there. So we could not run both ACs until the evening, when it really did cool down quite a bit. But the thing that makes this park absolutely our number one, and we didn't even get to try it, but we're going back for sure because we didn't know about it. They have like a primitive camping area, and it's first come, first serve. You pull your RV right to the edge of the lake if you want. You open up, and boom, you can boondock right on the side of the lake. It's cooler down there because there's a nice breeze. It's kind of down in a valley. I think our campground was like a 10-minute walk, maybe a 7-minute walk down to the lake. It's cooler down there. I'd say 10-15 degrees
easily.
You know, we went down there and people were just having a blast right on the side of the water, and we were jealous. Of course, it's boondocking, but we have our solar batteries, and during the daytime we would be out playing in the water anyway, and we wouldn't have to run the ACs. And then at night we could charge our batteries all day long with solar and run our ACs at night. So we actually have a plan to go back there and enjoy that. Also, while we were there one night, there was this unbelievable electrical storm, and it was happening, and it was very calm at our campsite, and the whole sky all around us was just lighting up here. There was like this crazy fireworks show, but way cooler, because some of the hits were like white, some of them were pink and blue, and it was just this weird electrical storm going on. And I could hear everybody out on the water down by the lake partying, playing loud music, barbecuing, who knows what. And I wanted to go down there with them. But what a fantastic experience we had. And it was very surreal the way that the weather was. I can't really describe it, but it was probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. And, you know, you try to capture that on film, and you can't.
Still, it was quite an amazing experience. And I think that's one of the coolest things about what we're doing is we get to see all these different parts of the country and all the things that are going on. And I know there's probably 1,000 places that are cooler than the places we have stayed. So we're asking you to share your favorite campground. Where should we go next? Right?
Right. We'll be traveling again soon, and we want to know, where should we go? What state should we go to? Which parks?
Yeah, of course we love state parks, but if you have some suggestions for us, we would love to hear from you. In fact, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel and share our videos if you like what we're doing. We do all kinds of different videos. Some of them are about our solar system, some of them are about the internet, some of them are just goofy things that we do, but we like to have fun and share that with you on our journey. So please like and subscribe to our channel. Communicate with us. Tell us what you think. We love to hear from the people that are actually watching the channel. So we thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to talking to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.